Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I can first and foremost call the lawyer Howard. Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rekal Kodash. Of course, double honors go out and are due to the elders, the apostles and elders. All right, a great millstone who through the Holy Spirit continue to teach us His truth. All right, in hopes of waking up the hopeful elect. All right, that remain. All right, this is Nama with the DC camp. And I thought I'd share this video I saw here on BitChute. Of course, I'm not going to play it. I'll just post the link in the description box. But this goes to prove that the wickedness of these Edomites knows no bounds. Now, they have, all right, however you want to describe it, snake oil salesman. Then, you know, that's a fitting description because considering how some of the elites started, all right, the process of gaining the massive wealth they got. You know, in particular, you think of the Rockefellers early on, you know, John D. and, you know, Henry Fords and people of that nature. All right. But that's what they do. And they have run this global scam. All right. What you have here, this is just 17 minutes, a little over 17 and a half minutes in. And I got to tell you, this also illustrates how stupid the general public is. All right. So, all right, and their blind obedience and trust in this devil. All right. Wow. But our people, what can you say? All right, our people. Jake wants so much to be loved by this world. They just go along. And that's why we're out here trying to tell our people, don't follow. You know, and then in fact, that's a commandment. Let's go to it. Because this is something that our people have a problem with. All right. This is Exodus 23. I apologize for the delay. This is Exodus chapter 23 verse 2. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause decline after many to wrest judgment. And that applies here because this is a lack of judgment. This man has screwed us over. All right, and this goes all the way back to the beginning, but for a lot of you not going to understand that, all right, that same spirit that was in the garden, that's what we've been dealing with, all right, especially on this side of the world. When you think about when these devils came out of the caves this time, all right, after, you know, Rome fell apart, and then that 1,000-year period, all right, from the time of Constantine the Great up until around the mid-1300s, all right, and then the beginnings of the Renaissance is when they came back into power, and we fell out of power, all right, and that's what we're still dealing with here. They revived the Roman Empire, all right. So we're in that little season now that he's been let out. The devil, we're talking about human adversary. We're talking about the descendants of Jacob's brother Esau, the nation of Edom, all right. They're not white, they're red. That's what Edom, when it's translated into the Hebrew, all right. Adawam, all right. It's red, all right. Wow. And I'm watching this video, and lo and behold, a lot of people, I don't know about a lot of people, but a good portion of you are aware that that test that you got, that they inserted the swab up into your nasal cavity, all right, well, they were infecting you with nanobites, all right, nanotechnology, yes. Think about it. If you've got me wearing a mask, if my saliva is supposed saliva supposed to be infected, why do you have to go way up there? Why not just swab the inside of my mouth? Because that little porous bone there that separates, the brain barrier there, that's where they insert it directly into, all right, your brain. That's nanotech. And this video is going to go into that, but I'm not going to play it. Like I said, I'm just going to leave the link in the description box. All right, but some of that is a substance called, let me get it here, technetium, all right, and that is atomic number 43, all right, and it's radioactive, all right, and it says it is a radioactive transition metal with bioinfiltrator properties, including mind control and DNA direct manipulation. All right, that's why they had to go what they call mRNA. This is a whole new technology. Consider this: all other vaccines, you take a portion of that you want to be vaccinated against, all right, and you create the vaccine from it. Why all of a sudden are you going to something completely different, all right, and just say, the Chinese just left the code, and we just replicated according to that, no, that's bullshit, all right, and the people by and large bought it. No, this is what they were doing. It says a pyrophosphate ion with TC99M, that's another name for technetium, adheres to calcium deposits. Calcium is known to be liquefied by 5G frequencies. All this goes hand in hand, all right? It's all linked together. Check this out. It says isotope of technetium is technetium-99M. It binds chemically to any biologically active molecules. These properties make it suitable for many medical radioactive isotope reactions. When TC99M is combined with a tin compound, it binds to red blood cells and can therefore be used to map circulatory system disorders. All right? And because no, I am not a medical doctor or a nurse, all right, even though I went to school, but you don't need all that, people. All right, exercise some common sense. That never goes out of style. All right. Don't get caught up in this devil's, because you don't have this certification, no one's gonna, that's the game he plays. All right. So let's go to Wikipedia. Technetium is a chemical element with the symbol Tc and atomic number 43. It is the lightest element whose isotopes are all radioactive, none of which are stable other than the fully ionized state of Tc. Nearly all available technetium is produced as a synthetic element. All right, so this is what we're talking about now is something that's created. All right, and naturally occurring technetium is a spontaneous fission product in uranium ore and thorium ore. All these are radioactive. The most common source or the product of neutron capture and molybdenum ores. All right, the silvery gray crystalline transition metal lies between manganese and rhenium in group 7 of the periodic table, and its chemical properties are intermediate between those of both adjacent elements. The most common naturally occurring isotope is Tc in traces only. All right. Then you get into gamma rays and oh my goodness, nuclear medicine. Like if you got know anybody that says here, let me just read it verbatim. It says one short-lived gamma ray emitting nuclear isomer. Let's see. And the nuclear isomer is a metastable state of an atomic nucleus in which one or more nucleons, protons or neutrons, occupy higher energy levels than in ground state of the same nucleus. All right. Technetium-99, which is what you were talking about, is used in medical nuclear medicine for a wide variety of tests such as bone cancer diagnosis. All right. If you ever been in the hospital, you see nuclear medicine. That's what all these things here are used for. All right. Wow. And this is what you're letting these people put up your nose. Oh, you're getting tested. No. You're getting infected. All right. All this, the barium oxide, all this that's spread in the sky by these planes, all this is coming together now. All this is being brought together. See, one thing by in and of itself may not cause harm, all right, but like I say, it appears, let me put it that way, they're getting the human body ready to interact with these so-called smart cities. All right, that's why they're pumping you with this crap. All right, which will ultimately culminate with this chip. All right, that will be inserted. All right, I'm telling you, please watch this and actually download it if you can, because I guarantee this is not going to be up long. All right. Wow. Along with the mask, this is, you can tell this was thought out over time, but the issue now is exactly that, time. All right. Time grows short for these devils. All right. Revelation 12 and 12. And this is why we tell you that for you jakes out there, this is all we're concerned about anyway. Anybody else, to hell with you. But you people do not listen. This devil has always had plans. He thinks he's the most high. Wow. He thinks he's on that level. He really does. You are and you know what this is all about? Ultimately, he does not want to let the children of Israel go. Just like Pharaoh of ancient Egypt. This is the new Egypt. He does not want to let us go. Think about it. The only real reason slavery ended was because he couldn't perfect his craft then. Now, technology is at the point, all this, implanting nanotechnology in an individual. All right, on top of it, your cell phones and all this stuff. All this has been in an effort to perfect. All right, because think about it. What is the most lucrative business known to man? Slavery. I've got the whole world locked down over some bullshit. Not only that, it's bullshit that someone in elementary school, or at least middle school, figured out. And yet, everybody's going along with it because this devil has got everybody's mind. Because when you think of, well, what's a demigod? Well, let me put that in. What is a demigod? Now I was going to read 2 Thessalonians. Let's see. Demigod or demigod is a minor deity or a mortal or immortal who is the offspring of a god and a human, or a figure who has attained divine status after death. Figuratively, it is used to describe a person whose talents or abilities are so superlative that they appear to approach being divine. And that's how people look at him. But he wants not the little g, he wants the big G. He wants the title. So let's go to 2 Thessalonians. All right, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Think about it. All is propaganda, all right? Just think Hollywood by itself. He's always portrayed as the good guy. And we know from, if you've ever read, and I encourage you to do so if you haven't, all right, the protocols of the elders of Zion, all right? And it tells you, it gives you 16 protocols there. And one of them was they were to remove any instances in history where they were made to look bad, all right? And they had done a pretty good job of that, all right? Always they, portray in this image that they were always the good guy as such. It's witchcraft, it's sorcery, witchery, however you want to put it, all right? Working on the people's minds. Now everybody's thinking of them, whatever they say, is right. Plus, what goes with that is, what was Esau's blessing? It was the sword. All means and manner of warfare and weapons of such, that's his mastery. All right, and that goes in the Wisdom of Solomon, 2nd chapter. Let me get it real quick. Because despite his image, what goes along with that, behind the scenes, which a lot of people, oh crap, I just have to spell it out, don't understand what goes on behind the scenes as far as foreign policy is concerned. All the arm twisting and threats, because of what? His image. Remember a certain tennis player back in the early 90s for a certain camera company? What was the slogan? Image is everything, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. I went too far. Wait a minute. Oh, no wonder. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. Let's see. Here it is. I started 10. It says, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow. No irreverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. They didn't care for our young, and they didn't care for our old. Verse 11, and here's the point. Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Look at the arms races. All right. The Cold War, all that. Who has the best weapons? All right. That's our law. Might is right. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, shewing himself that he is the Most High. Ezekiel 28th chapter is another one. That's talking about this devil in this current time. Remember ye not that when I was with you, I told you these things? And now you know that withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. This was set up by the Most High. And going to Romans chapter 13, all right? He ultimately set all this up. Verse 8, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. How? Because you're not going to defeat the nation of Edom, the descendants of Esau, with their blessing, which is the sword. Truth is what's going to win out. That's how he's feeling the effects of what's going on now. Let's go to Hosea chapter 6. This is how it was set up to beat him. Truth is going to win out. Remember 1 Ezra's 4th chapter. Ultimately, what is strongest out of the four? It's the truth. This is Hosea chapter 6. Or was that 5? Hold on. Whoops, I think I went way too early. Hold on. Again, I apologize for the delay. It never fails once you get. This is Hosea chapter 5. Wait a minute. Salaki. The heck? Wow, I was at the right Salaki. Hosea chapter 6 verse 5, it says, therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. What does hewed mean? Alright? Think of the prophet Samuel. What did he do to the Amalekite? Alright? Therefore have I hewed them. What is hewed? What does that imply? Alright? Remember, Hebrews 4 and 12, what does it say? I'll get that as soon as this comes up. This is Hebrews, Strong's H 2672, Katazab, to dig, cleave, divide, hew, make, cut out, dig out, cut down, quarry, hewer, mason. Alright, to divide, cleave, be, to be cut, be hewn, be engraved, see. Remember I talked about the prophet Samuel. What did he do? To hew in pieces, the Agagite, alright, cut up into pieces. Alright, let's go to Hebrews 4. Come on now. This is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. That's how we're going to defeat the nation of Edom. And Obadiah, that one little chapter, tells you what eventually is going to be his end. After they served double what we did. So after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, they're going to be rounded up and exterminated. They wanted to pretend, I'm talking about the Amalek mostly, that they endured a Holocaust. Well, that's fitting punishment. Talk about irony, poetic justice. Alright, Obadiah verse 18, you're going to get your wish. Alright, so I think I'll end it there. I don't think I had anything left in 2 Thessalonians, but that's what this devil has done. He actually thinks that he's going to keep the nation of Israel, the children of Israel, in perpetual bondage. Alright, that's why he's building up these arms and things of that nature. Got a space force now, because he sees the signs in the heavens. He knows that the chariots, what these people ignorantly call UFOs, are the chariots of the Most High. That's who he's gearing up to fight against. Alright. And Sirach, 2 Ezra 13th chapter goes into that, and how when things pop off, they're going to be so afraid. But the Most High is going to put it in their hearts to still fight, and they're going to get decimated. Alright? Because he's being set up to, this is being set up to be the greatest fall ever. Alright, so with that, let me see how my time went. Oh my goodness. So with that, once again, this is the topic we're discussing. the arrogancy and the twisted mindset it takes to come up with something like this. Alright, so with that, call the law Yahweh, by the Shem Yahweh Shah, by the Shem Dash. Once again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Alright, this is Nama with the DC Count. Shalom.